Happy day, students. Class 10th uses term 2 first chapter 7 looping control structures. So to begin with, let me tell you what is looping. Looping is a sequence of instructions. We call it the statement, right? That has to be executed repeatedly, either based on some conditions like n is greater than 10. So till the value of n becomes a particular greater than 10, the given number of statements will be continuously getting executed. Yeah. So I think you have understood the meaning of control structures. Control structure already we have seen some if else. In this chapter we'll be seeing some more. So for loop, while loop, do while. So all these three are the loops that we are going to focus mainly in this chapter. So simple looping structures has conditions and block statements. Fine. And the code that is repeated is known as iteration. Fine. So based on the nature of iteration, we have basically three basic loops. What is for loop, while loop, and do while loop. And nested loop, as I already told you, like in the previous class also, we have come across this nested concept. That is one loop within another loop. It's known as a nested loop. Okay. So for loop is used to repeat a particular task finite number of times. So it performs a fixed number of iterations. Which are specified counter variables, which in turn keeps track of the number of iterations. So once again I am revising. Loop executes a sequence of statements many times as state condition becomes false, and we have entry loop and exit loop. Entry loop is first the condition is checked and then it goes inside the body like a while loop. Exit loop is first exit control a condition checked only after for once it will get executed, and then alone the condition checks like a do while loop. So for loop, this is the syntax for initial value. Okay, like I is equal to 1. Then we give a condition like I is greater than 10 and I plus plus. So every plus I plus plus you already learned post increment functionality. So decrement and decrementation you already learned. Same concept over here also is I is equal to I plus 1. Value of one value gets increased, and that is again checked with this condition. Fine. And if this condition is true alone, this loop is executed. Yeah. So you can see, 1 second, I will just show you an example of how for loop is working. So you can see over here, number is equal to 1. Number is a variable name, right? So numbers they are given lessons into. Each time num plus plus 1. So first value of num is 1. Then num plus plus, that is num plus 1, that is 2. So again the condition is check 2 is less than equal to 10. Yes. Then again comes over here. Then this statement gets executed. It 2 comes over here. Then the present value of num is 2, right? So 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. The condition is checked. If it is true, again goes to the print statement. Again, we will increment the value num is equal to 4 and checks the condition. So till num is equal to 10, because equal to condition is given, right? Until that, this statement print number gets executed. Yeah. Okay, next we have the while loop. Okay, so while a particular condition, then the statement. Okay, let's see the example. I am teaching with you example so that the concept is very thorough within your minds. Okay, so you can see num is equal to 1. I have given the value of the first initial value. Earlier we have given the same line. Here we have split. Here we initialized over here. Condition check is happening over here, and the decrement and increment function is happening over here. So the for loop it was in single line. For while loop we have split it over here. So first they are checking num is equal to 1. Is 1 less than 10? Yes, it is. So print statement executed, then num plus 1. So present value is 2. Again is checking 2 is less than 10. Yes, then it prints the value. Then again comes over here 3. 3 is less than, so num plus 1. Every time the value comes over here, the value gets incremented by 1. Yes. Okay, so while loop is over. Next we have do while loop. Okay. So do while is exit condition loop I said you. First time it comes over here. If the condition satisfies alone, then the next time the statement will get executed. So for once, this statement will be executed. The previous conditions you might have noted, only if the condition is executed, then the statement is executed. But over here, irrespective of whether the condition is satisfied or not, for one time the statement will get executed. Okay, have a look. So here we are given the initial value num is equal to 1. Print 2 into 1. What is it? 2. Num plus plus. So num plus plus means what's the present value of 1? It comes 2. Again, it's checking whether 2 is less than 10. Yes, it is. It go back over here. It prints 2 into 2. So here value, what is the value right now? Yeah. Yes, so that value comes over here. We are multiplying 2 into 2, 4. Then we have again over here, we are checking, then 2 into 3, 2 into 4, 2 into 5, like that. Each value gets multiplied by over here. Yes, each time num plus 1, the value over here changes by 1 value. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Till 10 it will come, including 10. Yes, is the concept clear? So now we may have which loop to be selected. Yes, selection of a loop always tough task for the programmer. So first we have to analyze what is the problem, whether it has to be a pre-test or a post-test. Post-test is a do-while loop. Pre-test is required to use like a while loop or a for loop, but post-test as a do-while loop. Okay. Then we have, okay, before that, let me see what are the topics we have covered. We have seen for loop, while loop, do while loop, and nested loop. I already taught you, like nested meaning remains the same in whichever program or concept you use in. Nested means a loop within another loop. Yeah. Yeah, I will show you an example. Okay, give me a second. Last we have jump statements. Jump statement, basically I am teaching you 3. Continue, break and go to. So first we'll see what is this jump statements. Yes, jump statements, which means to transfer the program control from one location to another. Break statement, which we have first is a break statement we are going to see. The execution of the current switch to or loop. A particular condition is satisfied. Remember, switch case break we had the same. Once that condition is satisfied, it moves to the another condition. Okay, over here you can see an example of, on my screen you can see a loop inside another loop. Fine. So let's have an example over here. So you got a multiplication table. Okay, a loop within a loop is shown. And you can see the break statement. Next we have, after this we have continue. Continue means even if the condition is satisfied, it comes out of the loop but not out of the program. You can have a look over here. Yes, continue program works same like a break statement but causes a loop to skip remainder of the section of codes and takes control of the header of the loop. So over here you can see they are checking a condition NB is greater than 0. If so, if it is greater than 0, then alone it moves inside the loop. Else it comes away if NB is equal to 5. If that is not true, then it goes to the print statement. So over here you can see first condition of NB was 7, which was greater than 0. So it minus. So 6 came in. Then the present value. So 6 again they are checking. It's not true. Then it minus 4 came in. Then came over here 5. Yes. So like this the program is executed. Fine. One more topic. The last topic that you have to go is go to statement. Yes. Go to statement is to change the normal sequence of program execution, transferring the control of some part of the program unconditionally. So you can see over here. Yeah, over here you can see This is our go-to. So here loop is there, right? Main type loop and this loop. So this is the label we got. Do. So this condition goes over here. So instead of this, if I'm changing this loop over here, the name, this is just a name. So if you want to change it over here, you have to change the same over here too. Yes. Yes, with this, the chapter is over. Now let's have a glance on the program. So you have a program is to write all prime numbers from 1 to 50. So what is the condition of prime number? How will you check a number is prime or not? Which is not, so if the number is not divisible by 2, then it is prime. Yes, which we can say if its number is divisible by 2, it is not prime. So that is the easier method. We are finding it modulus 2. If it is modulus 2 is equal to 0, then we have to keep on adding the value. So these many values, if their number is not 1 or 0, we have prime condition, we have one more condition, divisible by 2, then 0 or 1. Both we have to check. Yes. Yes, students. Yeah. So with this, the chapter is over. Have a nice day.